This is an interview with Renata Reid, longtime Subud member, former regional helper in California, and current resident of Encinitas, which is in San Diego County. So Renata, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, how did you find or come into Subud, and what year was that?
Well, I believe it was around 1986 when I came into Subud. I'm not completely sure about that, but that's about as close as I can get. I had somewhat recently moved to San Diego County from Philadelphia, where I went to college. And I had met Lusana Erickson. And I had also met Sharifadine Harris. So at that time, like I said, I was newly out of college, and I had gotten a job at a restaurant in San Diego, and I met Lusana at that time. But then shortly after that, I went back. Well, I got a job in the jewelry industry, which was my original career. And Sharif was in that business at the time. And so I kept meeting him. And so I think they were both kind of working on me at the same time, telling me about Subud. And it took me a little while to come around. I think I was reluctant to be a joiner. I said, well, I'm not a joiner. I'm more of an independent, but somehow they convinced me to check out Subud. And so it was around that time.
Mm-hmm. And what were your experiences like when you did come into Subud?
Well, I guess I had a pretty strong receiving right in the beginning. And I think having I didn't really know that much about Subud except from what they had shared with me. But it sounded to me like a good type of experience that fit my personality in terms of a spiritual experience. So I think it was very, it just felt very comfortable and very easy. And I was very happy that it was a practice that was a moving practice rather than a meditation, for instance, or just sitting still or being quiet. So I don't know that I had any significantly special experiences when I was opened, as much as I was really very comfortable with the Latihan right from the beginning.
Yeah. So have you had any experiences with Bapak, or have you even met Bapak or seen?
No, I haven't met Bapak. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bapak passed the year before I came into Subud. So I did not have an experience with Bapak. I kind of remember when I joined, people had recently come back from some kind of a congress, and then I heard about Bapak's passing, but no, I had never met him. Yeah, so I think I'm one of a few people that kind of came into Subud at that time and stuck around. You know, a lot of people have come and gone in Subud, and a lot of people, I think, who had the opportunity to meet Bapak, I think more of them stayed than folks who came in later.
Yeah. So how has your experience of being in Subud affected your outer life?
Mm-hmm. I think it's affected it a lot. I mean, of course, we don't know how our lives would have been without Subud or without the Latihan, but I think it affects me in that, both as an artist, I'm also an artist, and as an acupuncturist, I think it guides the way that I do my practices, both my art and my Chinese herbal and acupuncture practice.
Mhm.
And I know that, for instance, doing what do you call it, like talent testing and things like that, where I always felt like I should be weighing out, what is my natural talent, and what should I be doing with my life. I think the Latihan guided me to feel like it doesn't really matter what it is we're doing. It just matters that the Latihan is in our lives, and it comes through. It will come through whatever you do. If you're a teacher or a garbage collector or whatever, a politician, it's going to come through no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was your experience as a regional helper? How did,
Well, that's been a really wonderful experience. I think it's probably one of the sweetest ways to get to know, your brothers and sisters everywhere. And I think also because I was serving on the regional committee, being able to travel to other groups and do Latihan with other groups and kind of feel the culture of how different the groups are,
Mhm.
it gave me a broader experience of what Subud is. I mean, we kind of get a feeling for what the Latihan is just by doing our practice in our local group. But getting an experience of what Subud is happens in a bigger environment, I think. And it's just a much broader experience to be able to do Latihan in Marin or to Sonoma or Sacramento. I mean, our groups are all very, very different, and the members are all very, very different. So it completely broadens my experience, and it also gives me a deep appreciation for my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you had any experiences along that doing your helper work or anything that you feel are kind of special?
As a that's a very good question. I don't know how to answer that question. I might have to think about that for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique experience for sure. And it's different from doing the Latihan. Well, just doing the Latihan as a member, for instance, when you're working as a helper. Yeah, that's a very good question. It's different. It's absolutely different, but I don't know that I can put it into words. Maybe something will come to me, but
Hmm.
not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else you can think of that you would like to say at this time or talk about your life?
Sure. Well, I think what I can share is when you decide to take on a Subud job as a helper or a committee member or something like that, uh, one of the things that you will immediately experience is the connection that we have in Subud. And I think that that connection happens kind of organically on its own, especially if you're traveling and going to regional congresses and national congresses, et cetera. Because of obviously you're going to meet members from anywhere in the world. Um, but when you're engaged in a Subud job, there's a different kind of connection that happens with each other. And partially, I guess, because there's a certain level of responsibility that you take on something like that. But I think it's that you've made a commitment to be connected to Subud and to help connect Subud to each other, to connect other members to each other. And I don't think that would have happened for me if I hadn't taken on jobs like that. I think I could have easily just gone to my local Ladihan and, you know, have a potluck or just do my regular once or twice a week practice and go home and it be limited completely to that. But having those jobs in Subud completely changed my relationship to Subud and my relationship to other Subud members.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about, has Subud had any effect in terms of your art?
Most definitely. I think when I'm doing Ladihan, a lot of the time, a lot of color is pouring into my head or pouring into me. And so I get a lot of images that just come up. And I don't know that I'll take those images directly and put it into my art, but it's almost as though it's the creative juices are just flowing more and more when I'm doing Ladihan. And I can definitely feel it when it comes into when I start painting or creating a new design. Yeah.
Do you have any of your art that you would like to show or talk about or here?
One piece behind me, I think I'll turn it a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. That, well, let's see. Nope, can't see it that way.
Yeah, I
don't
can
know if
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kimono that I'm making. So it's a painted, it's a large painted fabric that I've cut, and I'm making a kimono out of it.
That's
So,
beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, that's
So
what I primarily do.
I don't think I have any more questions, but do you have anything more that you'd like to say? Or-
Let's see. No, I don't think so. I
Okay.
don't know if I have any other thoughts at the moment. Happy to chat with you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Do you have any objections to me showing this to other people? And
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was very nice talking to you.
Nice chatting with you too, Rahman. Have
Yeah.
a nice Sunday.
Okay. I'm going to end the video now.
Okay.